hills of Kenya is the region of Kamburu. Like much of Kenya, the farms here are small and many, and tea, the cash crop, dominates the landscape. But as the climate's changed, so the crops have depleted. On top of fluctuating market prices, this has left the community very vulnerable.
Kejuge kwa ihinda riri riera ni ricenjetie muno tondu riria twetereire mbura kana mahinda maria twetagirira mbura turona ari riua riria twetagirira riua mweri toyo riu turi ni mweri wa kenda no koragwo riua riu mbura uguo riera ni ricenjetie muno na njira nene na koguo ri ndirigite kuona undu wa muthemba ucio rio ni ricenjetie.
The farmers here were encouraged to grow tea for foreign export over 50 years ago. And so, indigenous crops and farming methods were replaced as households began growing less food of their own. Now, the community finds itself firmly positioned at the bottom of an unreliable global market and absolutely reliant on the cash they make from tea.
Twehokaga macani na mbembe tugakorwo na mathina maingi tondu mbeca icio nicio twehokaga cia cukuru kurio kwihumba tugakorwo na thina mukiru tondu ona gukoma kuruga nyeni theri tukaria itona itire maguta ni twanararira tugathie kahwa-ini ona tugaikara nyumba imwe na matini uria kurimia mundu aturuga tukomage thi na migunda ino iri oku.
Food security has become a perennial problem for the people here. And as the drought continues, the scale of the problem is worsening. Gathuru Mburu was born in this area. And in 2007, with his organization ICE, the Institute of Culture and Ecology, he initiated a series of local discussions with the aim of stimulating a radical change led by the community.
After finishing my education, I went to work in Nairobi, but I have been coming to visit my parents, to visit friends, to visit relatives. But the same problems that I have been seeing are the very same problems that I am seeing every other time that I come to visit. The market forces that control the pricing of tea are outside the control of the community. And they have many other household bills that they have to meet. The bills for food, for medical care, and even for education. So the returns are actually too little. They cannot afford to meet all these needs. And this situation is actually putting the farmers in a very awkward position. A lot of what we have been doing is discussing these issues and getting the solutions and the local solutions. The knowledge is within the community. The farmlands are within the community. The seeds are within the community. Even the labor is within the community. So they only needed to change their attitudes to understand that they can do it themselves. We agreed that the most viable option in their hands was to take control of their food security. And when they took it over, they just ran away with it.
No ria ndathomithirio ngigua ndino camba muingi na ngigua no nginya gwi githomo kiu ndathomithirio ndikirutithie wira ngigua ndina hinya ucio na nginyagia wona umuthi no ngoretwo ndina hinya ucio na ngaigua ndina wendo ucio.
Kago and Rosemary's family are very typical of Kamburu. For years, they've struggled to make ends meet, but since working with ICE, their farm has been transformed. Where once they grew just tea and a little maize, their farm is now full of vegetables and fruits.
Kuma twambanireria na ICE nitwathomire na irigu riri nirio ria marigu maya nimo makwa ma mbere. Irigu riri rina mwaka umwe na mieri 5. Nimo ndokire ngihanda na riu kwanja metiari ni nyambiriirie kumahuthira na ni marandeithia tondu nimo turaria riu. Ona marigu maria mothe handite gutire irigu ria kugura ni kuruta mbegu o guku gwitu. Mbegu ino ni ya guku tene ni anduire na ndigurite ndimirutite o guku gwitu ni irigu ria anduire. Jimbaga marima na kamutumia wakwa na mwana ucio wakwa makandehera thumu kuma kwa ng'ombe ngagira marigu maya ngoka ngahanda na family yakwa igekira mborea. Na ti makugura ti thumu wa kugura ni thumu wakwa wa ng'ombe kuma guku mugunda wa nduire. Gitumi kia handa marigu maya uguo mugunda wakwa ni muinamu nuguo riria handite marigu uguo mbura ngiura ni mekurigiriria tiri guikurukio ni mai na nikio mukuona handite marigu ma muthemba ucio ngahanda na rairi no ndingihanda rimwe haha riria ringi hau uguo ni guthukia mugunda.
The process was actually very simple. It was the basic agricultural strategies that have been in this community for many years. Simple strategies. We realized that indigenous seeds actually are good because they are drought resistant. Crop rotation and deep digging are strategies that improve the quality of the soil. Compost manure also improves the quality of the soil. Now, after a very short period of time, all these strategies were taken up by the farmers and they were being used effectively.
Na nituhetwo miti na nituhandite miti uguo to marigu handite moiki ndina indo nyingi handite ni handite miti ni handite mirio ndina waru guku mboga sukuma wiki taigwa mianga makorofia ndaruto guku o kumugunda ndina kindu ta mbutha nyeni cia marenge na marenge pia ndio nacio tondu ciana icio ciakwa ciari guku na ciari nyingi uguo mbeca icio ni ndahuthagira no kuma ICE twanyitana ndihuthagira mbeca tondu huthagira irio kuma mugunda uguo ndina faida kuma kwa ICE tondu huthagira mbeca tondu ndahuthagira hindi wengi.
Cargo's family are one of many in the area who've benefited from their work with ICE. They're part of a growing group of nearly 100 households who've been working over the last 2 years to secure their own food. For all of the group, the changes have been remarkable.
Gwikirira irio cia unduire tutirari na bata na ngwaci mirio marenge ikwa turoi indo icio ni cia andu aria akuru andu aria matari magego no riu nitumenyete indo icio ni cio muhimu thiini wa mwiri itu ni tondu itiri na any effect and they are strong.
Ni reke njuge hende ya ici mokire guku ni tuona atari Ngai wakinyira guku gwitu ri andu abata ni muwi binadamu ne no a human being you know whom he is na ici neo macokiriri witu wa bururi na tuike wa kuhigio oguo taithio twokire ICE magituhigia because I'm so very pleased de mundu mukenu muno ni undu wa ICE nikio riu na ni kuigua rera.
It is very clear that there are changes that have taken place in this community. Families have become food secure, and the method is spreading from household to household as farmers realize that this strategy is actually very effective and simple. There's no reason why this process cannot be done elsewhere in Kenya and thereby across Africa.
Ugaruruku wikuo tona haria kabere ICE tanoka twerugamagia ngo ni muthuri ekiviake na nie mutumia de kiviago no riu kuma ICE oka matunyitanirie hamwe gutire indo cia muthuri na gutire mugunda wa muthuri na wa mutumia uguo maundu makiamba kwagira turutĩtie o riko.
In this country, we have never before seen such a huge number of climate refugees. So the actions actually are urgent. We need to move fast and address the problems. And this process that we have been talking about is one example of actions that can be taken to change this whole scenario.